And in our studio we now have
Mark Ellswick.
Yeah.
For sure. The author of Padman, A Dad's Guide to Buying Those and
And
Other
other things.
Things.
And other
He's
tales.
a graduate
Those.
from Dendel and also the University of Michigan in Central, University of Michigan Flint.
Yep.
And now you've just released this book and published it under Modern History Press, and it's called Padman. And you want to tell us about that book?
I'd love to. It's
Okay.
13 short stories. The entire book, Padman, is hope and humor. It's, look at the title, you would never guess, but it's for traumatic brain injury awareness. And there are 13 short stories, 4 of which are humorous. They've been compared to Dave Barry. They're fathering, raising a daughter, and they're funny. All the stuff guys don't want to be in the feminine hygiene aisle.
Right. That uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
sure.
Uncomfortable
Yeah.
to give them.
It was really funny too. I was laughing at myself when I was reading it.
Then about having a daughter who has the boyfriend and how you want to kill him. And,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
any guy can relate. But there are 4 father stories, and there are also 4 other humorous stories. Then there are 4 survivor stories, 3 traumatic brain injury, 1 a day I spent in a cancer chemo institute with cancer survivors. And the last is really short. It's front and back of 1 page. It's just a letter. Dear reader. It's passionate. It explains how a humorous book for such a sensitive cause. Everything I write, 15% of everything I earn from writing goes to Brain Injury Association of America, and I'm doing that right now. Eventually, that's my passion, my cause. That was me because I had traumatic brain injury. But eventually, I'd like to get off and to say autism, cancer, and raise money for those causes.
How long have you been writing?
Actually, I've been writing the majority of my life, mostly sports. Then in March 2012 under Modern History Press, I have another book coming out, Traumatic Brain Injury, Milestones in Recovery. That is going to be a lot more serious, and you're diving in. You're wading in with Padman, diving in the next book.
That's going to be out beginning of the year, you said?
March of 2012. I don't know when in March, but
And where can people get your books now?
actually you can get them they're sold through Barnes & Noble, Page's Bookstore, the advertiser here carries it, Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, I bought it anywhere online. Barnes & Noble's huge because they're, you know,
Right, all over.
they're worldwide.
Didn't you tell me they were selling it at Walgreens in Davidson too?
Yeah, there's a
I was like, whoa, you can just
There's a Walgreens in Davidson that sells them. There are a few other places. There's books, a place in Lapeer, I believe it's a bookstore. They're going to be I don't even know. A friend of mine was telling me about it that they wanted to start carrying it. And there's a resale shop, the New You in Lapeer. They carry it right now.
Awesome.
Is there like maybe a Facebook page or something that people can contact you through too on the internet?
I think I've been on Facebook once or twice.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, once or twice. Yeah, but the name is not Mark Ellswick, just author Mark Ellswick. And you can contact me on Facebook, add me. And my website, markelswick.com. My website is just mark@markelswick.com. If you want a book, contact me.
Markelswick.com. Awesome. I love this cover. This is awesome. I mean, it kind of shows that like it's got the humorous aspect to it, like superhero dad. I'm doing this, but I'm so uncomfortable while I'm doing it. Like he's got the kind of like looking around, make sure no one's seeing him.
Well, if dads were late, people have asked me, how'd you come up with the name Padman? That's a common question. But how'd you come up with the name? Once you read the story, then you understand that you read it. That's Padman. You go, I went in the store as Mark Ellswick, the paranoid looking around, paranoid dad, oh my God. And then finally I got help, and by the way, Nick, I don't know if you've ever had to go do it, but I went in and I asked the lady, okay, I'm stumbling over my words, you know, where are these at? And she asked me, which kind? If your sink gets clogged, you go to the hardware store and you have 4 or 5 different brands. You pick them, right? Well, she shows me the kind. They're right here, like Vanna White. They're right here. It was the entire wall. I don't know. They're all designed to do one thing, but
I'm the kind of guy that I need a shopping list that says exactly what
Exactly.
you need, the number of things
Exactly
you
right.
need. You can't just say bananas because you'll probably end up with plantains that are this big.
you're
I don't know,
exactly right. Yeah, there were a million kinds.
So how long ago? I mean, how old's your daughter now?
All right, my daughter will be 19 next month.
Oh, this
Does
is
she
still
appreciate
embarrassing.
And
Does she
she's
appreciate that book?
she does. She's okay with it. She read. She was 12 when I had to go buy those.
Or
And but she was 12, and I wrote it and then showed her. I say, I want you to read something, and I couldn't believe she'd read it because it was her dad writing that. And she read it and she laughed a lot, and then I knew it must be good if my daughter's laughing at it because her dad writes it.
everything's
But
very dad.
yeah,
What does she think about the chapter where the boyfriend in it?
they're all true stories. They're all true stories, and I wasn't happy. She knew I wasn't happy, but what do you do?
The thong, there was another one that,
Oh.
am I talking too much about the book here? But
No,
there was some
what?
thong underwear that I thought, well, I don't know. I don't have any daughters, so I don't know what I would do if I saw
Yeah,
thong
the name
underwear.
of that story is Shoelaces.
Yeah,
And
because.
I picked everything out of the dryer and there's something in there. It looks like a shoelace. Sorry, so I'll pick it up. It's her thong. That was just.
It's crashing down around you.
I don't want to touch that.
So now, and all of this happened after the brain injury. So, but the stories, those stories really don't matter. I mean, you
Well, of course
probably
they
would have had
do.
those same. No, I mean, they're not dependent on the traumatic brain injury. You know what I mean? Those stories are just human stories that would have happened whether that had happened or not.
Yeah.
And then you have the other parts where you're really, you don't dwell a whole lot on that, actually. I mean, you're talking about other people's stories, you mention it, you tell about it, but you don't dwell on that too much, I don't think. You just, that's what it is, and this is how it is, and...
Well, basically, it's like I said, it's like you're wading in.
Mhm.
You're wading in, and the humorous stories are Padman, that's the book, supposed to be humorous.
Mhm.
And, oh, by the way, this is what traumatic brain injury is like. Most people have never heard of it. Maybe they heard of it on the news, but this is just awareness. Now you see how serious a traumatic brain injury is. I've had a ton of people since they read, like my story is one of the 3 TBI survivor stories in there. And I've had a ton of people, I never guessed you went through that, you were like that. People they have no idea what a traumatic brain injury is, what it's capable of. I am one of the very, 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 very fortunate, lucky people to be in the shape I'm in. But people don't understand how common it is. 5.3 million people live with some form of a disability from a traumatic brain injury. Every year every 20 seconds a TBI happens, 1.5 each year. And then, I don't know if you guys know anybody with a traumatic brain injury, but then overseas, deployed military, they're going to be coming home, they're bringing the war home. You see on the news all the time. They're bringing the war home in the form of traumatic brain injuries. 1 in 5 soldiers have incurred a TBI, at least a mild to severe traumatic brain injury. Now, 1 in 5, that's 20% of everybody over there has had one brain injury, and it's all coming home.
Right. So yeah, that's a...
It's available in McLaren Hospital. That's another place.
That would be a good place.
It's already in there in McLaren.
Okay, cool.
But if I can sell 2,500 books, then I'm going to fly out. If I sell 750 books, I'll fly 400 books over to Iraq, Afghanistan, one of them just to the troops. Hope and humor is all the book is. Hope and humor. But if I can sell 2,500 books through me, not through Barnes & Noble, Modern History Press, Amazon, through me, 2,500 books by March 31st, then I will hand deliver 1,000 books either to Iraq or Afghanistan and sign a lot of books, meet a lot of people. I will
Wow.
take a ton of YouTube videos because
Yes,
I want
yes,
everybody
yes.
that buys the book
Yes.
to be there to
Oh, wow,
see it all.
this is so exciting.
It's a good announcement for our show. I like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, so they need to get a hold of you, and that's on Facebook. It's author Mark,
Elswick. ELSWICK.
Yeah.
and it's Davison too, right?
And that's,
Yeah.
that's
Davison.
markelswick.com, MARK, unless you, you know, some
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
struggle to
yeah.
see, MARKELSWICK.com.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you very much
Yes,
for coming on the
thanks.
show.
Hey, thank you,
It was a
Nick.
pleasure.
Jenny,